Welcome, friends, to another episode of Conspiracy Couch Live. I am your host, Alara of Sirius, and I have a wonderful fill-in co-host tonight, which is Cologero Getz from Where We Go When We Go All channel. Say hello, Cologero.
Hello, Alara. Happy to be here, filling in for Loyal to the Foil.
Yeah, it's so awesome to have you on the show. This just worked out perfectly. Let me make sure everything's good in the sound. Are we good with the sound, you guys? Can I get a 5x5 if we're good? So yeah, it's great to have you. Yeah, everything just worked out perfect.
Yeah, I was saying I should call myself dedicated to the aluminum tonight.
Right? I like that. That has a good ring to it. That's a super
I'm the counterpart of Loyal to the Foil. But she tonight, right?
She what?
She might call in tonight, you were saying?
Yeah, she's on the road. She had some event she had to attend to, so she couldn't co-host the show tonight, but I hear a rumor that she might call in. So, yeah, we might get some foil action after all, you guys.
That would be awesome.
Right? So I see Vanny in the house, Michael Scott, Rainbow Snuggle Fritz. That's quite a name. Christina Love, Princess Palm Beach, Babette. Is it Babette or Babette? Drinkwitz Hessa, Roseanne, Frieza. Woot woot. It's good to be with you guys. Conspiracy Couch. Here we go, where everything goes. Oh, most things at least, right? Within reason. I love your Pepe. Like, it totally matches the intro screen.
You gotta have Pepe. I remember you saying that you wanted to put him on a couch. So I was looking for a background today. I was trying to find Loyal to the Foil's exact background because I thought she'd get a kick out of that, and I couldn't for anything. So, but I was like, all right, I at least got to get one with a couch to throw a Pepe back there. You know, he's chilling, he's living the life. He's got a drink, cigar.
Yeah, he looks stoked.
Jealous.
He's all about Conspiracy Couch. I can't believe how much he matches the intro. That's awesome. And nobody make fun of my Starbucks cup, okay? I don't have a Q cup. I know I should have one, or a Great Awakening one, or a Trump one, or something, but apparently that hasn't worked out yet, so I'm stuck with Starbucks.
You can see halfway through, Laura's gonna have a Sharpie, drawing like a Q
just
on
to cross it out. Something though, it bothers me every time I look at it. I'm like, really, you're drinking from a Starbucks cup? What's wrong with you? So yeah, it's good to see you guys. So yeah, tonight we're thinking, this show can go any which way. It's for the people in the chat mostly, and it's for us to talk about whatever and sort of explore ideas and talk about what we know and the experiences we've had. But we're gonna, since it kind of worked out that since Cologero is gonna be on here, I don't know how many folks are aware of it, but he made a really good Project Looking Glass video a while back. After Q posted about Project Looking Glass, it kind of went viral, and it was a really, really good video. And so we thought, well, why not go into the Project Looking Glass topic today, and Orion Cube, and then maybe Mandela Effects, since they're all kind of tied in, Me and Cologero were talking about some crazy Mandela Effect stuff before the show started, like the Sinbad thing. That trips me out, the whole Sinbad thing.
Yeah, it's so wild. And of course, if anyone has a personal Mandela Effect, definitely leave it in the chat. But for me, that's how I was introduced to the Mandela Effect. And what's the weirdest thing is I already had done that years before that. Whenever Comcast got on demand, so I want to say like 2003 or 4 or something. I remember I'm sitting there, I'm home. And I said, you know what? A Different World. Remember a show, A Different World? Sinbad used to be on. It was like
I never saw that one.
Like an offshoot of the Cosby Show. And one of the daughters goes to college. But so I don't know. That was on, and I'm thinking in my head, like, I was going to look up a movie. I should look up the Sinbad movie. So I go, and I'm looking, and this is like new, so they didn't have every movie. But anyway, I go through there. I don't find a movie anywhere. So I'm like, that's kind of weird. So I go on AOL. I know I'm really dating myself now, but so I'm on AOL, and I'm looking for the Sinbad movie. I'm looking, good old AOL.
Yeah.
And I can't find this movie. Now it's like freaking me out. Now I'm on Yahoo, and I'm looking. I look for like a friggin' hour. I can't find this movie. So, I mean, it wasn't the biggest deal. The internet wasn't like as complete as it was back then. I got a little weirded out by it, but then I couldn't find it. I go on to the next thing. I rent another movie. I don't think about this for years. Then I joined Facebook in 2009, and I see, like, you know, I liked a lot of geek pages and stuff like that, and I see one of them share a thing about the Sinbad genie movie. It's like, oh, I remember that. That's the first time I thought about it in years. I click on it and I start reading the comments, and it's like, this movie exists, I swear. I've seen this movie. I totally seen this movie. And I realized these people can't find this movie. And I'm like, that's what happened to me. So now I'm like reading this, I'm like, holy, now I'm getting the chills, and I start reading this article, and it's talking about the Mandela Effect. And this is the first time I hear about the Mandela Effect and how people thought he had died in like 87 or something, but he really died in 2013 and all these things. And I was like, dude, this is a thing. Like, I never knew. So I personally lived the Mandela, my own, at least with the Sinbad. It's the only one I could personally say for, before I even knew what that was. So there was a Sinbad movie. For all I can remember is they took a kid on an adventure, and I remember them going to an island. I don't remember much other than that, but that freaking movie existed.
Yeah, I remember it too. Do you guys remember it out there in the chat? I totally remember that movie. Like, I'd like to meet somebody who doesn't remember it, because I don't think I've met one. And Jira Fang says, Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd was the most recent Mandela I've noticed. What's the Mandela with Judge Dredd? I've never heard of this one before.
I guess the spelling. So, Fang, are you saying that it used to be DREAD or DRDD? But that's some of those things, like the Berenstain Bears. Like, everyone remembers the Berenstain. Now it's the Berenstein Bears, but everyone remembers it. But now it's like got an A or something. So like some of that stuff that I heard after the effect, it's like, well, do I think I remember it one way, or am I just saying I remember it one way now because I'm reading this?
Right.
But with the Sinbad movie, that already happened. So it bugs me out. It forced me to question it. And I always used to think it was like maybe there was something in that movie they didn't want, and they kind of like, you know, tried to erase it from history.
Right.
A more practical reason, but man, if you're looking into some of the time travel, possibility of time travel,
right,
some of the Looking Glass stuff, it makes you wonder, like, man, maybe there is something. Maybe there are slight things that are slightly messing with the timeline. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Edge Wonder did a good series. Shout out to Edge Wonder. They did a good series on the Mandela. They did a whole lot of them on the Mandela Effects, and I tripped out on some of those. What are they? The audio's getting choppy again. All right, it's reset. I gotta fix that issue. It's like I have to reset the mixer.
It kind of sounded cool during the yesterday's show. It was like like I kind of heard what he was saying about like all 50 states and everything, but
it's OBS that does it. It's something with OBS, and it just does that. There's nothing I can do. It just does it. So the only way I can try to prevent it from happening is to reset it constantly throughout the show. But if I'm not, like, you never know when it's going to start doing it again. So, you know, but I'm going to have to find some way to stop it before it starts like that, because it's just happening too often. Thank you for the 5x5, guys. Yeah, it's just until I get that issue fixed, as soon as you start to hear it do that choppy thing, please throw something on the screen and get my attention and let me know. Because that way, all I have to do is reset a button. But until I know and the chat's delayed, you know, it takes me a second to figure out what's going on. Maybe I can route a headphone into that speaker so I can hear what's going on live. Because then I could catch it immediately instead of waiting for the chat to let me know. That's one way I could solve it, at least temporarily.
I feel like that would bug me out to have like a double
right
thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how am I going to run one speaker in one ear, and then I'm going to have to run two separate ear? That's going to get complicated, man. You know what I mean?
It's hard enough paying attention to one thing,
right?
Let alone.
Yeah. So anyway, so they were saying, that was what I was saying before we started getting choppy. They were saying something about Shazam. What do you guys remember about Shazam? What's the Mandela effect with that?
Well, I think that's what people say the Sinbad movie was named. I don't remember a name, but I think that's what a lot of people say, that it was called Shazam.
And sorry, go ahead.
No, and I think some people say that Shaq was in a movie, Kazam. One of them was Kazam, and one of them is Shazam. And people say, oh, you just misremembering that. But no, like, I definitely remember it was a Sinbad movie where he was a genie, for sure.
Drink with Tessa's saying, oh, Ed McMahon totally was the PCH guy. Was he?
Yeah, definitely. Why, that's different now,
so
too?
So he's not the PCH guy anymore? Come in. Really?
Hold on a second. He was 1,000,000%. I saw 1,000,000 of them.
Right.
Ed McMahon.
So Drink Quintessa, are you saying that he's no longer the PCH guy? Who's the PCH guy? Do we even have one in this timeline?
What's going on, dude? His stuff is creepy.
It gets weirder by the day.
That's a definite insane one.
Yeah, they're saying the name was Shazam.
Ed McMahon.
Hey, Kate, nice to see you. Welcome.
Kate.
So yeah. So should we cover a little bit of some Looking Glass stuff and how this could all possibly be kind of tied, and go into that some, or what would you like to do, my wonderful guest host?
Well, no pressure. I mean, I guess that's the only thing, right, that could explain it, is if people were messing with, like, traversing through time. What else could mess up the timeline like that? I know some people say maybe CERN. I guess that's a possibility.
So, I'm showing them a photo right now. This is what they say Project Looking Glass looks like. Now, I don't know. I've not seen it, but that's what they say that it looks like. So, I don't know. And I'm going to reset the audio just because I'm really nervous it's going to do that again. So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've heard David Wilcock's explanations of how it runs and how it works, and I've listened to a lot of Project Camelot and other whistleblowers. So I've heard the description. I mean, and the photo definitely looks like kind of how the description is from different whistleblowers. What's your take on it, Cologero?
I mean, I know the one that I felt was the most consistent with it was Dan Burrish. And he was talking about how it was reverse engineered from the Sumerian cylinder seals, and that they kind of made a Stargate out of it. And he was saying, but for the Looking Glass itself, it's a future probabilities machine, and that only if you if you tweak it a bit and you tip it and use two of them at the same time, you could kind of open up a ripple in the fabric of time and use it that way. And that's how he's saying people use it to traverse time. Man, it's wild. It's like part of me, I don't know. Well, that video you mentioned that I did on the Looking Glass, I was like, okay, I'll look into the Looking Glass. And then they were like low key talking about some time travel stuff. And I was laughing like, all right, let's go rip this apart. And man, by the time I came out of that, I feel at least like 70% sure that they could do something. There's something with it. And the Baron Trump books, to me, is the biggest smoking gun there is. Those books, it's just, how could that be a coincidence? There's so much stuff with that. I mean, if you want, I could share my screen on that for some of them.
Yeah, go for it.
Some of you don't know, there's books. Actually, I'm sure a lot of people know by now, but there's Baron Trump. There's books about the marvelous adventures of Baron Trump from the late 1800s that link up with a lot of random stuff, and it's wild. I think it means something. I think it's a little breadcrumb for us. One, how has no one ever heard of it until right now? And two, here's some things from it. Let me see if let me open this up. Right,
Striff to Saul, I can't pronounce that name, says, I would love to stream my third generation military night vision sometime on your channel in real time while you guys talk. There's almost always things flying around up there. That sounds kind of cool.
Oh, that's wild. That's like when you guys were at a SETI, right? You said it was just nonstop.
Yeah, especially when you got night vision on, you can see stuff that you can't see with your naked eye. It's really cool.
That's pretty awesome. That's sick.
But there's a lot you can see with your naked eye at SETI. It's just nonstop. It's incredible. There's a couple people in the chat I see right now that were there with me that could attest to what I'm saying. So yeah, what are you showing us?
The only thing I saw was your video on it, and I saw there was a ton of you there. But man, that looks like so much fun. Okay, so all right, so this is Baron Trump's marvelous journey, right? So first of all, the first things first is the illustration in it actually looks like Baron Trump.
It looks just like him, dude.
Like, I don't know. I guess that could be a coincidence, sure. But then some of the paragraph, like while I was reading it, it was something like this. Like this is chapter 19, right? But if you see, they messed up the I. The I is the T. So if you put 19 next to 20, so if you take out the T, right? The T is the mistake. If you take that out, that becomes 20.
Right.
Trump 20 20. Like if you go from 19 to 20, that would make 19 just two X's, which would be 20. There's a T, Trump 2020. So that was one thing. Then this passage right here, like this to me describes the Great Awakening. It says, Anon, a group, would halt and join hands and begin to exchange thoughts by lightning-like pressures. What are we all doing? We're all getting together, grouping up, exchanging thoughts, tapping and strokes. When others would dash against them, break apart, and confusion would reign greater than ever. But gradually, I noted, as some sort of order seemed to be coming out of the movements of this mad throng. Exactly right now. It's starting, it was so erratic, especially in the beginning, and it's all like getting organized, and here and there groups of 3 and 4 would form and clasp hands, and then these smaller circles would break and form into larger ones. And I noted too then this ever-increasing circle was formed on the outside of panic-stricken crowd, and as it grew to shut them in, so what was the fleeting Sopsody was one of the people of this town, hurtled up against this steady line to break it. His terror left him at once, and he took place in it. Like people, they come to make fun of him, then they watch some of the videos like, oh, these guys are actually being pretty reasonable and making sense and stuff, And in a few moments, the madly pushing, jostling throng had disappeared entirely, and the whole city was girt round by these long, steady lines. The great circle had been formed. So, I don't know. First of all, it starts Anon,
Right, that's weird.
Yeah, and it's just like how exchanging information and forming little mini groups, and people who go up against it wind up being like, oh crap, and joining. I don't know, it just
right.
to me like that was pretty wild.
Yeah.
And then like they use the word portal a lot, so yeah, it's a time travel thing. Portal,
right.
This in one of the early ones when he says, talking about leaving Castle Trump, talking about the pendulum in the time house. And let's see. And this one where he talks about that they came out in Greenland. Was Trump trying to buy Greenland, right? I don't know. Just there was like other things too, but those are some of the more interesting things. Oh, and then this. And then this we're talking about. This is probably everyone's probably going to roll their eyes at, but I never saw this Q post, until I made that looking glass video. And then obviously people were sharing it to me. And to me, it's like, one, I've read them all. 2, how the frig did I miss a time travel is fun post when making a video about time travel? Like, I'm usually pretty, I'm usually pretty organized with that stuff. And, oh God. And it's like, I know this is just me being like, whatever, but did they post this after that video? They shared the thing that's being shared here. Even as a post is when Trump shared a post that says, where we go one, we go all, which is the name of my channel for those of you who aren't familiar, and says time travel is fun, where we go one, we go all. And this is a couple months before my video, but like I had never seen this. I don't know. So to me, that gave me the chills. Like, did they just put this post here? But
yeah, that's
I guess
kind of crazy.
That's a leap, I guess, but I just thought that was cool.
Well, it's like I was telling you, the Great Awakening map, they said that it was almost done when Dylan was working on that, and then it came out. So it's like, I don't know, you might be onto something here. I don't doubt it.
And maybe they saw it beforehand. That's wild. That stuff is just so it gives me the chills. And the last thing I would say is Ingersoll Lockwood, the guy who wrote that book. Like, he's not a nobody. This is a guy who he knew Abraham Lincoln. Trump always talks about Abraham Lincoln. Right. He was appointed counsel to the Kingdom of Hanover by Abraham Lincoln. So it's not like this is some random, just some like out of nowhere author.
Right.
And he says, I don't have it up here, but he says it was based on Alice in Wonderland, the book. Like, it was inspired by Alice in Wonderland. And, this guy knew Abraham Lincoln. And then, just stuff like this. I'm sure you've seen a lot of this, that video I did, but I don't know. That's some of those books, those Barron Trump books. Those are some of the things that really gave me the chills. And that guy wrote another book called The Last President, about a president an outsider president from New York, where they rioted in the streets when he was elected, which is exactly what happened with Trump. And he wrote this. Washington a heroic drama of the revolution. And we're right now in literally what some would call the Second American Revolution, with a heroic drama in Washington going on right now. So I don't know. I get the chills when I think about this stuff, but it's just cool.
Yeah, it gets weird.
Random.
Definitely. It looks like we have somebody that's joined the meeting. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello?
Who is that?
Me. It's so hot. It's so hot down here, and the children won't stop screaming. I was just calling to tell you to vote by mail.
Hey, Foil, what's up?
The ghost of
She's supposed to be the ghost of RBG, apparently. You even put up a picture of her.
Right? I'm sorry. Hi, people.
Hey, Foil, what's up? She's calling in from the road.
Yeah, I'm in the Nowheresville. No, actually, I'm in a crazy place, man.
The chat loved it. They thought your idea was great.
I wish I could have had it fixed like all together. I just walked in here like 5 minutes ago. I said, let me hurry up.
Oh, wow.
Top where I'm at. Right? What up, peeps?
So what's
You're
up?
talking about some Ingersoll Law. That stuff's crazy, right?
Yeah.
His last book was called The Last President.
Right? The chat is cracking up. Apparently, they really like it.
Are they? I can't look at it because then I'll mess up the whole. I can't look at
that picture you picked of her is lit too. Isn't it, Cologero?
It's amazing.
Right?
Yeah,
I can't take her serious with that picture.
Okay. I wanted to, throw a little spice in there for you guys.
No, we really appreciate it. Thank you. We're delighted.
Right?
I need to re-edit this afterwards and make the lips move.
Man, right? Wouldn't that be great?
Conan O'Brien style.
Maybe the ghost, we can summon her on occasion. The ghost of Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Right?
Oh man. Someone in the chat said she died like 6 months ago. Yeah, no crap.
I've been dead for over a year. It was my body double.
We're so wrong. We're so wrong.
Man.
Too soon, guys. Too soon.
It's okay.
I don't know.
Politically incorrect is something we aspire to be now that we've been forced to be politically correct for so long.
That's something I do, right?
Right.
you got to kind of shake me into line sometimes.
Hey, Trump was politically correct enough for all of us. So
man, right? My hero.
I love that guy.
So I want to specify something.
He grows on me more every day. Let me tell you.
Every day, right?
Like, did you? I was really touched today, you guys, when I saw him taking those people screaming at him at the funeral like that. Like I
heard about it. I didn't get a chance to see it. I've been driving all day.
My heart chakra was just like, I love you. Thank you.
When they told him, did you see the video of where the moment they told him that she had passed? And he really looked. He said, listen, she had an amazing life.
Right.
Like regardless of anything else, she had an amazing life. And it basically that he wasn't going to comment past that because, this was her moment.
Yeah, that was really cool. I like some people say they try to make it out to be rude. He's not rude, but he'll bite back. And I think people take those clips and say that, he's rude and crass, but he's not. If you really watch him, he's actually really a gentleman. And I think that's really cool. I really respect that.
Yeah, for sure. Can I want to say something since we're on, and then I'm going to get off of here. I'll let some other people, do you have other callers? I would hope.
I don't think there's anybody in the waiting room right now.
Oh, maybe I'll just hang out here with you for a minute.
Yeah, there's nobody in the waiting room right now. Is the mods got the meeting ID and the passcode and the link to get in? Post it in the chat. Feel free to post that. Let me know if you need me to recopy it again.
So, okay, listen. It was definitely Shazam. That's all I'm saying. I saw it myself. I remember Sinbad had little purple pants, like in the genie. He was a little genie with some damn purple pants and like a vest with no shirt under it. Like I remember seeing this when I was a kid. Let me tell you about another crazy man that I didn't even realize. As a matter of fact, I had a fit about it about maybe 3 or 4 months ago.
Let me ask the chat. Do you guys let's give them a number to type in. If you remember Shazam, you remember the Sinbad movie. Type in
one.
Type in a 1.
Kazam,
if you don't remember
press
it,
2.
and if you don't remember it, 0. If you do remember it, 1. If you don't remember it, 0. Let's see how many of these people remember that movie and how many do not.
Man, listen, I remember Mandela dying in prison. Like, I remember watching on TV when it happened. Like, there was a freaking riots and stuff in South Africa. It was a mess. But the one that really tripped me out, there were 2 Mandela effects that just blew my mind. Number 1, dazzle camouflage. Like, you know, and I'm not trying to, I went to school for a long time. Okay. I've studied for a long time. Right. I don't remember in World War I them painting boats like zebras as a form of camouflage so that the enemy couldn't detect like how far away they were. Like, I don't remember that. I looked online and apparently this was totally a thing. There was that. And now Cologero, man, Google dazzle
She's doing
camouflage.
to you what she does to me. Hey, listen here. Hey.
No, I believe you. I'm saying, but I
now,
never remember
look
learning
here
that.
now, look here, right? It's crazy. I've never seen that in my life, right? That stuff was nuts. Dazzle camo, like, I mean, painted up like zebras and stuff. I was like, who would paint their ship like that? Nobody would be afraid. Like, it was the worst thing I've ever seen.
The verdict from the chat, I got almost all 1s. I got 1 0.
Yeah, there are people that literally remember Kazam with Shaquille. Yeah, with Shaquille. And like, that's what happened in this timeline, apparently. You know,
we had to have hop timelines. And I think there's different variations of them. Like there's a lot of them. But I think there's got to be major steps, just like in the Law of One describes, there's different levels, but then there's sub-levels within levels. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the weird thing. Like, if you look at the Mandela effects that we've identified.
Yeah.
If it was just one timeline or the other, everybody would remember one thing or the other. But there are people like, I remember Mandela dying in prison. I remember Shazam. I know the Monopoly guy had a monocle. I remember Berenstein Bears. But like, you may have people that remember 2 out of those 4 things, or somebody that remembers 1 but 3 on the line. Like, I don't know if there was some variation on when the switch occurred. Maybe it happened for different people at different times. Like, I really don't know, but it seems like there are probably numerous quantum timeline convergences, because I think that's what it is there's been a convergence and then a realteration of, you know, the differences on those various timelines, I think.
Hold on a second. The Monopoly guy doesn't have a monocle?
No, apparently not. Right?
Get out
I'm
of
not
here.
from here,
Definitely
right?
has a monocle. There's no way.
About that. I'm gonna blow your mind out. Listen, everybody knows there's 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Can you name them?
Death, deliverance, for you for sure. No, I only know
Death,
from Metallica.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, even
That's
things
a
like
good old
that show they did recently that dude that wrote Neil Gaiman that he did the Good Omens, Bad Omens or whatever. There were 4 horsemen. Apparently now in this timeline, did you know that pestilence is not a horseman?
Pestilence, for what you have to endure, and
Yes.
for what others
See?
do.
Pestilence was definitely a horseman, yo. Pestilence was a horseman.
Yeah,
Now apparently
Daryl Devine says the timelines are converging. I think that might be an explanation for it, dude.
Yeah, it's a timeline convergence for sure. And then they have to, and then basically time is more like a rubber band. It'll snap back into place when it's been stretched. And I think when it snaps back, it has to alter the things on the timeline that don't agree with whatever the current reality is.
Right.
It's truly what I think is happening.
That's interesting.
You know,
I wonder why it's just stupid things like movies and wonder when it'll be something major. Like, I don't know. I can't even really think of something.
I mean, the whole Mandela, like the whole thing with Mandela, that was huge.
Like, what if a physical object changed? Like the White House, just all of a sudden one day we woke up and the building was completely different than the building we all grew up with. Like, it was just a different building.
I'm sure that there are examples that, I mean, there are but the Bible, the thing with the book of Revelations, like, I know it was war, famine, pestilence, death. Those were the horsemen. Right? Well, no, now on this timeline, apparently it's war, conquest, famine, and death.
No way,
Cat
dude.
Spotter says pestilence, famine,
that.
war, death. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah,
it's pestilence.
It's pestilence.
Yeah, look it up, guys. It'll blow your mind. I'm telling you, pestilence is not a horseman. He got demoted. And apparently war and conquest in this reality are 2 different things.
Wow.
Shit sounds the same to me. Like I don't know what's going on, but I do think it's a convergence, and I think because like I said, time is not like you know, when you look at like from a quantum, like from quantum physics, understand, like it's like a rubber band, and it will when it's bent, it will snap back, and that's what's happening.
So maybe we were all on different timelines, but we're all converging, like you like
yes,
that
I
person
think
brought
that's
up.
exactly what
And
happened. And I think
our memories are all converging onto one.
Yes,
That's
and then
deep.
you know what'll happen, Alara?
Mm-hmm.
What you call the ascension.
No, but you're gonna tell me. I can bet you're gonna tell me right now.
I'm gonna tell you.
Lay it
Let me
on
tell
me.
you what's gonna happen, right? What you call the ascension and what I talk about when I talk about the rapture, whatever, this, that, people, I think everything will converge and there will be one more divergence, and that's gonna be which timeline are you gonna be on? You feel me? We talk about that all the time.
Right. Right. So those that are remaining, in my language, those that are remaining in third density, and those that are really third density, and those that are
we'll have a timeline, and then what you call ascension will be a quantum divergence, and there'll be the other people will be on the other timeline.
Oh, look who just called in, Vanny.
What up?
This will be a first. His audio is still connecting. So
Yo, I gotta say real quick.
The RBG picture's still up there.
Go for it.
Funny.
Yo, I looked up those Dazzle camel ships. I am a history buff. I have never seen this in my entire life.
People tried to argue with me on Twitter. That's a trip, right?
They look goofy.
Hey, Vanny.
Stupid is stupid. Just stupid looking.
Yo,
welcome to the conspiracy couch.
dumbass ships.
Brave man. You're brave. Called in. What's up?
Right? Welcome.
Where'd he go? Oh no, you gotta mute that stream in the background, my friend. Welcome to the conspiracy couch. Oh, we get to listen to a rerun.
Looking glass.
I need.
Right?
What's going on?
What's going on? Where'd he go? Did you gotta mute your stream, Rob. This is the fun part of the show, you know what I mean?
I love it, personally.
Like, you gotta mute your stream, dude. I think he may have got it. I don't hear it anymore.
All right. That Ruth Bader Ginsburg picture's tripping me out now.
All right.
Well, I also there's also
There he
about a
is.
30-second delay.
Right?
I don't know why.
I can see that now.
A 30-second delay? What do you mean on that? So things go for 30 seconds out there
And I'm
before
about to get headsets. Hold on.
Yeah,
you
get a
gotta
headset.
listen to us.
I recommend
if you listen to the YouTube video.
anybody that calls in, please wear earbuds, wear a headset, plug it in, and make sure you mute the show that you have running on whatever device it's running on. Make sure and mute it, because otherwise it's just gonna bleed right into the call. So yes, just a word of wisdom there. So while he's doing that, while he's grabbing his earbuds,
Right?
where were we?
He was telling me about how stupid them ships look. They said that they did it, right? They said that they did it so that, you know, when they before they could have something to detect how far off a target
Okay, I can
was.
hear you now.
Go ahead.
Before they could detect how far off a target was automatically, when they had to do it by sight, that this painting the ships in this ridiculous fashion would confuse them somehow. I mean, it seems like that would just make it easier.
I mean, yeah, seriously.
How do you
if
miss
that would
a zebra?
talk about
Right? Or
talk about a freaking you know what they probably thought? It'd say, oh, look, there's an American ship. Oh, wait, no. Oh, that looks like a zebra. Guys, you got to be from Africa. Okay, just let it go through.
The Americans wouldn't do something that horrible, right? Yeah, no, that apparently that totally happened. I had no idea. But yeah, that Dazzle ship stuff and the pestilence getting demoted, that's crazy to me. Like, how could that even be a thing? Like, there are too many pop culture references that, you know, pestilence was a horseman. I don't know.
Dude, there's straight up Metallica song Four Horsemen. That's one of the verses. Pestilence.
See?
Well,
See?
what you
Look
have
at
to
that.
endure. Yeah.
That's proof enough for me.
Ms. B
Metallica
says,
said it
Foil,
must
change the pic.
Right? All right, hold on.
So
I'm a
what's
mess.
up?
Like,
What's up, Rob Van Oy? Welcome to
Turn my
Conspiracy
camera
Couch, take 2.
Right? Dun, dun, dun.
Can you hear us? Rob?
Oh, there might be a delay.
Is he frozen? There can't be that severe. He's laughing. Can you hear us? Rob? Hello.
Hey. I can hear you. The problem is that it's about 30-second delay.
Oh, whoa. I wonder why that is.
And, oh, it actually is. Like when I talk and say something, it actually shows up on your side about 30 seconds later.
Yeah, you may have to not pay any attention to that then. I mean, I'm only able to keep track of it because I'm looking at it in the control panel, but if I was looking at it on the screen, yeah, that would totally mess me up. So how are you, Rob Van Oy? I haven't seen you since ESETI. We had a great time at ESETI, checking out spaceships and, you know, trolling everything that we control just for fun. That was a good time. He's gone.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what was going on there, but yeah.
I don't, and guys, I don't know how to turn my camera on now. I think I'm stuck.
You're okay.
Oh,
You're
no,
fine.
I lied. Okay.
I don't know how you managed to change your name and the RBG picture.
There it is.
What's
right.
up, Foil?
Well, I had to wait till I logged in to actually do it, but RBG has left the building, guys. Notorious, right?
She's got a lot of work to do down there.
Man, it's so hot.
Don't be shy, friends. Call in. That's what keeps this show interesting. That's the whole point. Is you never know what you're gonna get next. It's like a box of chocolates, right?
I was just gonna. You never know what you're gonna get.
You never know what you're gonna get next.
So what else are we talking about today?
Well, I mean, since we were touching on Project Looking Glass, I thought
Looking Glass.
Right. So we can go there. We can go into Bursch and the Orion Cube and what that is for people that are not aware of the story. Do you want to cover maybe a little bit of that, Cologero?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So according to Burrish, the cube was given to us by ETs. So actually, I believe he said that they were us from the future, that they were came back in time, and that they gave us the yellow cube, and that was really a future probabilities machine. And that's kind of like what the Looking Glass is, kind of the same thing as the Looking Glass, just a more advanced version of it. And that it would, but they said he described that the only difference was with the yellow cube, or the time cube as they called it, instead of reacted to the person who had it.
I was just gonna say that, yeah, it interacts with the user, right?
And didn't they pull it out of one of the ships that crashed in New Mexico? It's ET tech. And then they pull it out of one of the ships. Isn't that what Bursch said?
I believe so, yeah. And it's definitely, I know they pulled a chair out, and that's what like spawned the Montauk project.
Right.
But I think you're right. I think the same thing. And then they asked them about it.
So is the Orion Cube and the Yellow Book the same thing, just different names for the same technology, the same? And allegedly, the Yellow Book is off planet now, right?
Probability machines, right?
Right.
Yeah, like I think the Yellow Cube and the Yellow Book is just two names for the same thing, or the Time Cube, from what I understand. And then I think the Project Looking Glass is something that we made, which is pretty much the same style thing with a future probabilities machine.
I think there's a bunch of different looking glasses, to be honest with you guys. That's what I think. I think there's multiple. I don't think just one group of people built that tech. I think there's quite a few different people that built it, and different groups have their hands on it. That's what I'm thinking. So
yeah. You know, once something exists, it just spreads everywhere anyway. So
right. So I mean, the question is, do white hats control the ones that do exist, or some of them taken offline? Do they all still exist? I mean, these are questions we don't have the answers to. But clearly, as I'll show right now, we're waiting for the audio to connect on Strift to Sol. As clearly referenced in this Q drop right here, this was number 3585 that came out. This is the first time that Q referenced Project Looking Glass going forward in order to look back. And then I remember seeing this Q drop and coming across Cologero's video that he made, which you'll have to check out. That's on his channel. That was an
awesome video.
Yeah, super awesome video, very educational, and it kind of, you know, it educated a lot of people on what the technology was that were totally unaware of it until that Q drop had come out. So
yeah, that's really when I went through those. I went through a lot more than interviews of people talking about time travel and different things but I just tried to solo out them actually talking about the tech, because you know, when they talk about the stories, I'm not saying they're embellishing them, but some of them are so fantastical, whether it happened or not is like, all right. But I just wanted them talking about the tech, because it all seemed like they were kind of talking about similar technology that lined up a lot of what was going. And it's really interesting, man.
Well, are you familiar with, like, John here to help had talked to me at one point about something called overwrite tech, which was like some kind of a time machine for the mind of some sort. I'm gonna have to look into that. I don't know if anybody else is familiar, has heard that term, overwrite tech. It works mentally and physically. There was something with it. I'm gonna have to look it up. I wish I wouldn't have been driving all day. I'd have figured it out what we were talking about at that point. But I mean, we have the technology now. Like I think we talked about last week on Space Force News, where they can read, like they've basically got to the point where they can read your thoughts and rewrite your thoughts as well. But
I think I've experienced that. Honestly, I think I've experienced that.
Yeah, I think that's what, I mean, that's crazy, right? You could just
Why I keep my Bluetooth off.
You know, and that's how they're gonna, like, you know, I mean, obviously.
While we're on that topic, I've noticed my Bluetooth now. I don't have a speaker. Nothing in here is connected to Bluetooth, and it just turns itself on at random. And I have to go in and turn it off manually. It just turns itself on.
Someone's doing that remote then.
Right? That's crazy.
Right? There's not a speaker in this house. The speaker I had is gone. That was connected to that.
You need to
get
like a Faraday bag and keep it in a Faraday bag.
I need to live in a Faraday cage is what I need to do.
Man, right?
Hey, remember when I got those Faraday gloves, Foil? I thought that was gonna solve the problem right there. I said I got some Faraday gloves. It's gonna protect me from the phone. The phone won't be able to zap me. I've been talking about this stuff for years. How the phone's doing things to me. It's doing stuff. It's reading our minds. I've been telling people this forever, and they're like, "Yeah, you're crazy." No.
Yeah, no.
Not crazy.
No.
Mm-mm.
They're able to use visual cues to program ideas into your head from the TV. Like, I found the patent on it. Matter of fact, I had published it on my Twitter page at some point. Like, they can do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Well, it looks like the last person that came in the chat, their audio kept trying to connect, and it didn't connect, and then they exited. So, you're welcome to try to call back in and see if we can get it to work again. We're waiting for Rob Vanoy's audio. It looks like you're connected, Rob. We just need you to unmute your mic if he can hear me. He should be hearing me through a Zoom meeting, though. It doesn't make sense that he would have that delay on talking. Rob, welcome. Are you gonna...
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. It looks like we're doing better this time.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I'm talking.
I'm wondering if you can hear me in the Zoom meeting when I respond to you. What's going on?
He's still got a delay. It has to be.
He's got a delay. I don't know why he has a delay like that. Yeah, he's seen my mouth move, but he doesn't know what I'm saying.
Right.
But you can't read lips, Rob? Come on. He said, I can hear you. I can read lips. I'm deaf.
No.
Okay, check it out. Check it out. Whoa. Okay. Watch my mouth.
What is he doing?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
I declare but thumb more.
3, 4, 5.
What are we doing, Rob?
6.
7, 8, 9, 10. Did I pass? Like do I get a consolation prize now?
It's like when they do those exercises on TV, like 1.
Oh my God,
2,
guys!
What?
3.
What?
I need to share this with you.
Did a happening just happen? What?
Yeah. Well, no, but it's horrific. Did you know?
What?
Apparently, a police raid in Vietnam found more than 300,000 used condoms being packed for resale.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I have to put the phone down. Like, that's the craziest.
Wait, hold on.
thing I've ever heard.
Hold on. Can you say that again?
Yeah, sure. A police raid in Vietnam found more than 300,000 used condoms being packed for resale. Guys, just letting you know.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna throw up. Thanks.
I ain't never heard
being
that.
single in 2020 is lit.
Oh,
man, I don't even know. I mean, I hope they aren't shipping them internationally.
Now I'm okay. Why? That's weird.
Welcome.
Hello?
Yes,
There's a telephone.
you are welcome to Conspiracy Couch. We have just a telephone number for you. So can we have a name?
Hello.
I'm Strip Style.
Oh,
No.
we can hear you now.
You remember the one you called Strip Style?
Yes.
So
What would you like us to call you?
You call me Michael.
Michael. Okay.
Hi, Michael.
Strip Style is just first last written backwards, but I had to switch to it.
Oh, it sure is.
Oh, okay. Hey, call-ins are always interesting, you know? Between the names
Right.
and the technical issues, it's always a party.
Oh,
So how are you tonight, Michael?
There is an amazing delay.
we seem to be running
An
into
amazing delay. Okay,
So what I can't figure out is
Okay.
if he's experiencing that
Okay.
delay and Rob was experiencing it, why aren't you experiencing it, Foil?
I don't know. Maybe I should hang up, and maybe it'll.
I just heard myself say there's an amazing delay again just now.
Oh well, don't listen to the YouTube.
Yeah.
Just put
Oh,
the volume on the Zoom meeting.
Okay, actually, I'm
Yeah.
on my phone. Let's see. I'm gonna
That's
go-
what it is.
I'm gonna close.
That's what's going on. You have to close the stream on your phone and just pay attention to what you're hearing in the Zoom meeting. That's
Gotcha.
exactly
How's
what the
that?
problem is.
We're learning now. We'll know what to tell people when they call. We got this.
This is
Oh
only
yeah,
what, the
I'm the
third
guy
time
who's
we've ever
saying.
done it.
This is my actually. I think I've called someone once, like months ago, and I kind of fumbled my way in and then finally heard something. But I was the one talking about the night vision.
Oh yeah.
I've got night vision that I mean, it's like well, I have a friend. He actually happens to cut my he cuts my lawn now. He used to be a SWAT guy, and he was in the military and all that stuff. And the night vision he used, looking through my night vision, he said it made his night vision at work look like a toy.
Really?
So you got the third gen. Is that the one that they confiscated? Like they were trying. What was that? Last summer? Is that when they did that?
Yeah,
guys?
they were trying to trying to call eminent domain and
I remember that.
Yeah, I had to wait 6 months for that night vision to come in, and I had to sign a thing that said that I would not take it out of the country without permission by the State Department, and that I understand that if I let anyone look through it or even read the instruction manual that's not a U.S. citizen, I can go to jail and get a big fine.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
I wonder if that's why they were rounding them up, because the tech was being sold overseas.
Oh, yeah, it's covered by it's called the International Trafficking of Arms Act or something like that.
Oh, they
I'm
specify
supposed to know
night
all
vision
that.
there. That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really good. It's really good night vision. And I have I bought this little thing that I rigged where I can clip it on to the eyepiece, and it allows you to, it allows you to, like if you're doing like if you're an operator and you're doing a mission or whatever, you can record what you're doing, over on this little tiny camera that clips onto it.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
how would we stream that? How would we stream that? That would be awesome if we could do it.
I would stream it. We'll see this thing. It will connect to any device. Well, I fly RC stuff too, and I've got a little box that takes the wireless signal that will come from this little camera and convert it so that it will show up like a webcam on a phone.
Awesome.
Whoa, that's awfully cool. We're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, right. You see a lot of stuff with that, like that we.
Yeah.
probably
Oh my
wouldn't be able
goodness.
to-
What have you seen out there?
I've
with
got
that?
a whole look. It looks like stars flying around. That's the best way I know how to.
That's nuts.
And
They're
they
erratic, right?
do they
Describe it.
phase in and out? Like they phase in and then you'll see them going and then they just phase out.
Well, sometimes they'll be flying and it'll go real bright, and then it'll go dim and then real bright, and like it's reflective and it's spinning or something.
Huh.
and that's what it reminds me of. And then in some cases, I'll look up there and you'll see just like you have to be lucky to see it. You have to look at a part of the sky, and then all of a sudden it'll flash, like somebody's up there with a camera flash, like a gazillion miles away, and you're like, "Whoa, what is that?" And you have to sit there and wait for it. But I caught it on tape. I've got a bunch of footage, and it's like a bunch of big files. I've wanted to share this stuff. I wanted to give it to somebody and say, "Hey, I've got all this footage. You can have it. If you can even take credit for it if you want. I've got so much, I don't know what to do with it."
Oh, no.
Start a YouTube page, bro.
Right? You could. Or you could, you know what I mean? You could always, I'm into that. I'm into posting that stuff on my channel, but I'm going to credit you. I'm not going to take credit for something I didn't tape.
I mean, we could even show some on Space Force News. We'll edit it to show clips that he's done for us. That'd be cool.
That could be cool.
Yeah, I would love to show UFO videos in time, you know what I mean, as part of the segment on Space Force News, maybe at the end or something, because it's an important part of disclosure, people realizing that this stuff is real and it's all over the place. So those that haven't had an experience.
The idea that I had was, I could just go out, and I've got this little screen in, like a little gazebo outside, and I was thinking I could just set it up on the tripod.
Yeah.
And while I'm sitting there, kind of like we are now, but instead of seeing me talking to you, you would see the night sky with night vision in real time while we're just talking about other things. And then, one person goes, "Oh, whoa, did you see that?" And then, kind of like that.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Seems
like it'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. We're down with that.
Talk about setting the profile picture bar. There's no competing with that.
We could even have
live UFOs.
Where the chat was asking where you live, Michael.
I'm in the western part of North Carolina. I live right in the Pisgah National Forest. If you look that up on a map.
Have you ever tried having a CE5 and setting up your camera, but actually having a CE5 and asking them to come show up and interact?
Yes, I've thought of it, but I need to be able to break away, and I'm kind of like the backbone of this place. It's like it's one of those things where if I try to do anything that takes my concentration, the sky will fall to stop me from doing it. Seems like, but
you stay busy. I take it.
Say again.
I said you stay busy all the time. I take it.
Yeah, I do. Like when people ask me what I like to do, I don't know how to answer it. I start stuttering because I can't list the things fast enough, and then the things that I do say I can't explain fast enough, and I don't. I find myself I super lucked out. Okay, I live right next to this guy, the guy that lives next to me. Yeah. He's retired from Los Alamos National Labs. He's a retired high energy physicist from Los Alamos National Labs.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be some good convo right there.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to him.
He'd be like, "Can you go home now?" I'd be like, "No, sir, I'm not done."
No, I'm not done. Hey, you want some cookies, buddy? Right? Hey, I just baked you some cookies. Can I come over?
Right?
Yeah, get that dude drunk and hit record, man.
Right?
Get that dude drunk and hit record. Perfect. Hey, you know what would be a good idea I just thought of, you guys? Is if we had a live, I don't know if it would work. I don't know if it's ever been done, but have a live Skywatch with his camera. We could call him in, but do it through the internet and see if they would still show up where the camera is. Like, you know what I mean? Like Stephen Greer says, vector them in to where his camera is pointed.
Right. And
see if they'll interact with us if we call them from being on our technology. I don't know if it would work or not, but might be kind of cool if it did, right?
I've wanted to do that, but the thing is, this night vision, for one, like, okay, I have two sets of dual tube night vision. Each one is about $10,000.
Wow!
And you only get about 5,000 hours of runtime per tube. After the tube burns out, you have to buy another tube. And you get 5,000 hours, which is still a long time. But
yeah, but
as
like
far
you
as
gotta
like
be specific with what you use it for. You don't want to just run through your time, I would imagine, huh?
Which, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I spend a lot. I use them a lot, like just looking up at the sky and like watching my dogs. It's kind of cool being able to go out and whenever I let my dogs run around the yard, I can watch them without having to shine a light around. But
right.
I'd be broke in 2 months. I'd be out there all the time, like, what is that?
Well, 5,000. Think of 5,000 hours of continuous runtime. I mean,
wow.
Like crunch that into days.
Right.
That's a pretty good runtime. And I mean, doing that, I would only be using one tube at a time. The dual tube thing is so that you have depth perception, because if you try to run around with one eye, you bump into stuff naturally. So,
right.
Hey,
so
Jermaine,
these are made.
I see you out there. Hi, Jermaine. Go ahead, Michael.
But I mean, yeah, I've got shoot. I could, if you guys ever have any questions about technology, I'm rusty with my physics stuff, and there's nothing I can't look up and learn again. But I'm kind of like known by my friends as they call me up and ask me about, like, hey, what was that thing about the guy who said they said you can't break the speed of sound because your plane would fly apart, and you're applying that to what they're trying to say about the speed of light or whatever. I'm like Prandtl-Meyer compressible flow or something like that. It's basically, they were saying that back in the, I think it was the 50s, I think it was Prandtl and Meyer, Prandtl and I can't remember the other guy, but they basically came to the conclusion that you cannot, that a heavier than air craft cannot go faster than the speed of sound, because it would rip itself apart because of all the shearing forces and all this stuff, and all the equations worked out. Everything worked out. And then, like a week later, Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier.
Well, they tend to make a lot of claims based on current science, and then just think that science is settled. Science doesn't work that way. It doesn't get settled.
Science, right?
Exactly.
People always say, like, "Oh, you don't believe the scientists? Like, dude, you don't know anything about science."
Yeah, well, I mean, it's only settled until we reevaluate all the new data, and then we can it again, and then we'll settle it again tomorrow, and we'll settle it again the day after that. Like, that's crazy.
Right.
Michael, I have a question for you from the chat. They want to know if you're able to see orbs with it. Like, do you see physical objects only, or do you ever get flashes of maybe other things, or does it see other spectrums? Does it see other energy spectrums?
Think of it like this. Think of it like looking through a kind of a medium resolution black and white TV camera, but it's not now. Now you'd have to understand what it looks like through night vision to be able to make a comparison. But I mean, it's super clear. These are considered high high definition. Oh, by the way, part of the reason I was able to get these night vision and I can live okay now is because in the Navy, I hurt I got hurt pretty bad, damaged my brain. Didn't make me stupid, but I kind of have trouble putting words together. So,
I understand.
You know how it goes.
Yep.
I
have a very similar problem.
Than your...
Yes.
Well, thank you for your service, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Guys,
that's not what I was going for. But I was just.
I'm going to log out now and let you guys finish this. I got some stuff I got to work on. I love you all. Thank you for calling in, Michael.
Yeah.
Love you guys in the chat.
Yeah.
I will be back, next week?
All right. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
We'll see you on Space Force. Well, no, you weren't. She's not going to be on Space Force News this week.
Tyler's
filling in for her.
Yeah, I'll be home Monday. So next Thursday if we do this, and then definitely next Sunday. Next
Sunday for Space Force News. All right. Good night, Foil. Thanks for calling in from the road.
Much love, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Cologero, for filling in there. We'll see you guys later.
My pleasure.
Bye, Foil.
Take care.
I'm always around. So I'll leave my phone number with one or you guys, one or all of you guys or whatever, and you can text me and ask me stuff or whatever.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I have a lot of free time on my hands now. But I mean, I just kind of recently won my battle. I had to fight the VA for 20 years, and I finally, just in the last couple of years, I finally won. But and
right on, dude. That's awesome.
20 years though, I had to fight them for 20 years. That's but I mean,
insane.
Do you mind us asking
but now I don't have to.
What you did in the Navy?
Go ahead. Can
you say or? Nothing
special. I was undesignated, and I started out in aviation, and I was just about to work it out I was going to switch over to a corpsman, and then this guy that I met was trying to get me to go. He was in something called a Fleet Marine Force, and I trained with them and just to see if I could hang. And he's like, I could, I was able to hang, and so he's like, yeah, definitely. It's a big pain in the ass to get crossed over, but he's, the people on his side, they have a lot. It's kind of in the military, at least when I was in, it's kind of like, it's part of it is performance, but part of it is also who you know.
Everything, man. Everything in life, always a huge politics friggin' aspect. It's frustrating.
Because, officially you have to do, you have to go through, fill out such and such paperwork, and then you have to read this manual and learn these things and take this test or whatever, when really all you have to do is have the right guy reach in his desk and pull out a piece of paper and sign it and put a check mark and say, okay, and you're done, even if you never touched the book.
There's a level of truth to that for sure. In many different areas, it's more about who you know than what you actually did. I know I pulled that one off in high school. So
yeah, a little, what's that called? Social engineering.
No, I mean, I got good grades. Don't get me wrong. Like, I got good grades and I went to school and everything. But I will say, like, my senior year, like, I did a lot of work for certain teachers, and they just wrote my grades and graduated me as salutatorian. So, I mean, I probably shouldn't have said that, but oh well, respect. Too late now.
because they knew you were good. They knew you well enough to know, like, maybe you didn't do so well on the test or whatever, but right. They knew that you had it, and
if I could do their work for them, I think they figured she could pass high school, right? But I mean, I don't know about the salutatorian gig. I don't know if that was really valid, considering like I didn't really do any homework my senior year, but I don't know.
I don't think you should have to do homework. Honestly, if you know everything, why should you have to go home you don't do enough work in school? I'm not a fan of homework. Just saying.
Yeah, me neither. I think if you have a good teaching style, then you don't need homework really. Maybe something minor, just like a refresher exercise to refresh it in your mind, but not something we spend 3 hours,
Well, Michael, you definitely got to email me your contact information so we can get with each other on this whole night vision situation, because I think there's some stuff we could put together that could be really interesting.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a good tech. I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm really, 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 well, normally really technically in electronics. Like I went to electronics school after I got out of the Navy, and then I went to electronics school. I went to a massage school. So I got, I'm a neuromuscular therapist. I learned a whole lot about health, mainly because I wanted to learn how to heal my brain to stop having seizures, so that I could stop taking their weird, the meds that, basically made me useless. The way I ended up doing that, a lot of people won't agree with, but they won't like it, but it works. I mean, and when I stop doing it, it stops working. So yeah, anything science, tech, health, even. I know, just knowledge. I love knowledge. It's like, well, a doctor that I saw, one of my doctors before he left the United States, he was actually man, it goes on a whole other, man, I could talk about so many things for so long. Like, he was a neurologist. The way I met him was I was going down the road, and I saw this kind of older Jaguar pull over, and it looked like it had a flat tire. So I pulled over to help him, and it was this older lady. And I said, hey, you look like you have a flat tire. It was a dark, kind of secluded sort of a highway type road. It's like, hey, you need me to call somebody or whatever. She goes, that's all right. I called AAA. And I lived in Jacksonville, Florida at that time. So I'm like, AAA is going to be a little while. I said, I'll tell you what. And I handed her my license through the crack of her window. So this is my license. You can call it to somebody or whatever. And I will just stay in your car. I'll change your tire or whatever, Well, her husband was impressed by that. So I got a call later. They invited me over for dinner. And so, talking to them, I was like, so, how do I fix this? How do I fix my brain? He goes, if you want to fix your brain, use it. But that's the best way you can fix it, is use it. But from him, I learned don't put yourself as a donor on your driver's license. He was leaving the United States because of the, he said literally, he said there is deep evil in the medical system in this country. And he was going back to India.
Shit. Yeah, that's the truth.
He said, whatever you do, do not make yourself a donor on, you
in the back
put donor on your driver's license.
Right.
Yeah, he says don't do that, because he one of the reasons he was leaving is because he has witnessed times where he was pretty sure that they could have saved certain people and they didn't.
Well, yeah, that stuff definitely goes on. Yeah, so I wouldn't recommend putting it on there either. All right, well, thank you.
I don't know how I got on that.
Thank you for calling in, Michael. We appreciate it, and I'll get my email to you so you can send me your contact information.
Okay.
All right. Good night.
All right. Good night. You guys about to go offline?
Yeah, I think you have to hang up. I'm not sure how I do it.
All right.
Oh yeah, I think I do it right here. I can do it. I'm not sure.
All right. I'll be Oh, how do I do?
There it goes. You have to hit remove from right here. Okay, I figured it out.
I can see it now. He showing the night vision
drink with
things,
Tess
and all of a sudden Loyal.
I didn't even notice that. Yeah, she's in the waiting room. Okay.
Oh, nice.
All right. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you can see like Loyal to the Foil like dip out, and then all of a sudden alien avatar comes on. I'm the person in the ship. I don't know. RPG style. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty unique of her. So Drink with Tessa's audio is still connecting. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about who Drink with Tessa is while we're waiting for her audio to connect. So I hung out with her and her husband at ECETI this past year, which was a couple months ago. And we really had a good time. We spent a lot of time talking and, looking at ships and all that stuff. So anyway, she's an awesome girl. Welcome, Drink with Tessa. I know you're on now, but your mic is muted. You got the stream muted?
Yes, stream's muted. Good to go.
You're good. Yay.
Yay!
So how are you?
I'm so good. Oh my goodness. I wanted to tell you, on our way back from ECETI, we were about to pull over to take our, and I looked out and there was the little silver Tic Tac like right above the horizon.
Yeah.
And that sucker followed us for like an hour. And every time me and my hubby were looking at it, we couldn't stop laughing because it was so ridiculous that little guy had followed us home. It was awesome.
Yeah, I've heard James say that sometimes the ships will follow people home. So that's really cool, because one didn't follow me home. I wish one followed me home. It's a little boring around here. That was kind of anticlimactic coming home after hanging out in ECETI with a bunch of starseeds for a week, staring at UFOs. It was like I came home and I was like, well, this isn't very
Oh.
exciting, you know?
How am I supposed to talk to these people?
Right?
They're so normal.
Yeah, I went from that to just by myself, like, oh, and there's not even any UFOs when I go outside. Like, I don't even know what to do about this. So,
It's a little depressing because there's not one to look at every single night.
right? You get
You have
used
to
to
stop.
it, right? And it's so cool. You get so used to it that it's like, I don't know. It seems weird to come back to a location where there's not constant UFO activity. It's like, you're like, where'd they all go? Where'd everybody go? So,
I was so complete for 4 days.
I know. That was so awesome. So did you guys stay a little bit longer, or did you go home when most everybody else went home?
Oh, we went home when everybody else went home. We had to get back. I have stepkids. We have to watch them. They like to return every once in a while.
I have to
But-
send him my email real quick. In the screen. Sorry.
So is there a place to stay there? Or did you guys camp while you were there?
While we were there, we got the conference tickets, and then we rented one of the little tents that they have set up there. We didn't bring our own. We just let them do all of the work, and we
That's
just
cool.
brought our stuff. It was very nice. Next
Yeah.
year, though, we're doing an RV.
They have
Yeah.
really limited
Ah,
housing there. Like
that's
you
the way
can
to
you
do
can
it.
get a yurt, but they only have like 5 of them. You know, so
Yeah.
they get bought up like right away. They're
I
all
want to stay in a
reserved,
yurt so bad. They look so
right?
cool.
I'd live
It
in
was
one,
amazing.
truthfully.
It was so great.
Not here though. Not in Arizona. In Hawaii maybe,
Oh.
but not here. Never. It's not happening.
They have them at some of the campgrounds here. Like you could either, but same thing. There's only a handful usually.
So Tessa, what Mandela effects do you remember besides Sinbad, and what really significant ones do you remember?
Well, for me, the Berenstain Bears is the one that started me on the trip. I was like, no. If that was Berenstain, I would have called it Butt Stain, hands down. I was a child at the time. It would have been Butt Stain Bears, like hands down. But the one for me that rocked my world and sent me almost in a slight depression was the Bible ones, the Lion and the Lamb, the Lord's Prayer changing.
Hold
That,
on, how did the Lord's Prayer change? I've never heard of this one.
forgive our debtors instead of forgive those who trespass against us. Like they
That's
changed
changed.
it to,
That's not how
What?
they say it anymore.
it is not forgive us the sins of the trespassers anymore. It's now debtors. And every time they say it, I want to just it curls my hair.
Why
It's
are they
so bad.
seeding us with like we should forgive the banksters for what they've done to us?
I have no idea why they changed it. Let's be honest, I didn't even know the definition of trespassing and why it was used in there to begin with. And then they switch it to debtors. Like what? Totally thrown
Forgive
me.
us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation.
Right?
You
That's
can-
wild.
Check your Bibles. It's now debtors.
Daryl Devine
Yeah.
says the Pope changed it.
He's changed a lot of things.
Somebody
all right.
changed
I
it.
guess that makes.
Right? Forgive the debtors. Okay. Right?
And then the painting, the Da Vinci painting of the Last Supper, like I've seen that photo my entire life. Every relative I've ever known always has that painting in their house somewhere in Southern. So that's how we roll. And I remember there being bread and the chalice that represents the blood, and the bread is the body.
right.
And then the Mandela effect is the chalice is no longer on the table. There's no glass in front of Jesus, none.
What?
And I saw that and I started crying. I was like, that's the whole point of the Last Supper is the body and blood of Christ. Like, and you're skipping half of it.
It's weird.
That
Some
is
of these
weird.
things are so wild. Like some of them are just so undeniable. Either, I mean, you could say maybe it wasn't weird and someone just tried to change it, but there's just too many of them. It's too many.
Yeah,
And
there's too
everybody
many.
remembers
It's-
them.
I wish, it'd be nice if we had schools that taught like, the real science, like, you know what I mean? It's like we all have to just like research and try to find things, even though we have algorithms and corporations working against us, like big tech, where it's even hard to find stuff and it gets pulled off the internet. You know what I mean?
The
Like,
scrubbing is every day.
right. Imagine if we could like access the Vatican library
Oh,
and read those
man.
books, because there's physical books. You can't pull those down like big tech does to information on the internet, right? So
Yeah.
I just want to
There's-
go to the declassified section of the Smithsonian, or the classified section. They have an entire
Right.
classified section. What kind
you
of
see
science are
all
you
the
hiding?
giants
they
and
probably
stuff,
got a
all the
lot more
giant
than
bones.
giant skeletons in there. I'm just saying. They probably got all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff.
I was looking for the Vatican. I think you have to apply for, you have to have a reason why you're doing research. You have to apply for it. And then when you get accepted, you get like, I don't know if it's a couple hours or a day or something where you can go through, but there's miles of books. If you don't know where you're looking, how's anyone going to find anything in like a short period of time? So it seems like such a scam. There's no way to go through those. There's miles of them, I believe.
They make it difficult on purpose.
Oh yeah, that's
I
what
wonder
it
if we'll
seems.
ever get that part of like our disclosure. I don't know. I think we can manifest whatever we want, honestly. So I don't think there's really limitations, but I wonder when we'll ever like, we just have to hold that vision, I guess. We have to hold that vision and stay in that frequency of we will get to read and access these materials, and there will come a time when that stuff won't be hidden from us anymore and we'll be able to actually access it.
And we all need to ask together. Like,
Right.
we need to unify a lot.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should
And
do a
that's-
mass meditation and somehow and really put focus on some of these things that we really desire, you know?
Yeah.
That would be cool. I feel like some of the things, like I feel like some of the things were purposely hidden from us. Like when you see with the stuff with the Vatican, they have all those books and everything. I feel like some of that ties to the witch trials of the 1600s. And, you know, I think they were taking away and hiding from the public, like tricks of the mind and different things and ancient knowledge. And maybe not even just then, probably before that too, but there's just some weird things. Like they weren't cavemen, you know, they act like people like laugh like, haha, they thought they were witches. Well, it's not like we're talking about people in like 3000 BC. This is a freaking couple hundred years ago. Leonardo da Vinci roughly era and stuff. Galileo, you know, they weren't idiots. There was definitely some real to it. They thought it was real. Look how many people they put to death. And, you know, the guy, King James, the Sixth, I believe, whoever commissioned the King James Bible, he was a part of it. He was one of the people who put so many people to death for witchcraft, and he even wrote a book. I just got it. I didn't read it yet, but it's called Demonology. This is written by King James himself, who like breaks down, so allegedly, again, I didn't read it yet, but allegedly he goes through like what they did, how they do it, how they do hexes, like it's a real thing that they really were aware of. And I think they really hid a lot of that knowledge on purpose from people to take it away. Kind of how they're trying to do with the Second Amendment now. I think that was like an early version of the trying to, you know, like take away that.
Yeah, because they're trying to control what we think. They're trying to control our version of reality. If they can distort that, they can make us manifest the reality that they want that serves them and suits them. So that's got to be a major part of the manipulation. We probably only know a sliver of that truth, you know?
Oh man, that's going to be so exciting. If they just give us anything, I just want to know. I want to know the extent of our power. I think we have so much more power than we realize.
Oh,
like,
we are
mentally and
limitless.
stuff.
Oh, without a doubt. I know
I'm not going Maria Abramovich limitless, but we are limitless.
It's totally true.
I believe it.
Just the changes.
Especially this year. Whew.
Just
This year has been insane on my body. Like everything is just changing.
What do you mean? Like in a good way or?
In a good way, yeah. The manifesting this year, it takes 1 second, one thought, and then poof, there it is. Oh my.
She's right. No, she's absolutely right. I've moved a physical. I mean, okay.
Yep,
I've said this before. Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Okay, so I only did it twice, and I don't have control over it. So don't think I can just do this stuff, you guys. But I teleported something twice, 2 physical objects. And I'm telling you, this is where we're going, guys. Like it's real. It's just we don't know how to use this yet. We don't know how to.
We're not confident in our
Yeah,
abilities because they've been
yes.
telling us none of this
Yes.
exists. So when you're
Yes.
doing these things, you're thinking, there's no way this is happening. And yet, you know, the person next to you is like, please stop reading my mind. I don't like that.
I knew the moment
But
it
how many
happened. I
times?
knew
Yeah.
I had done it, and it was because of the state of mind I was in when it happened. I was really believing that I could do something like that, and because I believed it, really not on a conscious level, like, hey, I could do this. No, like on a subconscious level, I really believed that I could do it, and that's when it happened.
And they've got us all scared and afraid in our houses. So you're doubting everything, who you are, what you're doing. Like there's no way that you can elevate when they're putting that much pressure on you.
That's true.
Yeah,
And what they say that, they harvest the negative energy, right? I'm sure that's a big part of it.
Frazia just said animals are telepaths. They are. Try it, you guys. Like I'm telling you, all this stuff is possible. Try going out. Like some of you have dogs and cats. Try doing that with them first, but then try just going out in nature and you taking your thought and projecting at a being, an animal being that's near you in the vicinity, and see if you don't get a response back. And the more you tune into it, the more you'll start to realize, oh, it's there. It's just a matter of fine tuning that connection with all of creation. So
yeah, my King Shepherd the other night was having a terrible nightmare, and I looked over at him and I was like, "What's wrong?" And he was still sleeping, and in my mind, I got the image of him at the pound because he's a pound puppy, and I picked him up from there. And so then in my mind, I just had to keep repeating, "Hey, you're at home. You're loved. You have a home. You're loved. You have a home." Mm-hmm. And he stopped, and his nightmare went away, and he was great for the rest of the night.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool.
You said this
Easier
with your mind.
When dogs are sleeping.
You said this with your mind. Yeah, see, dogs really are in tune with their owners, especially. Like they know.
My dog does things all the time that I swear he could just sense. It's weird. It is weird. That is definitely something to that.
For me, the weird part is I have a King Shepherd and a tiny little fat Chihuahua. And with the Chihuahua, I love him. He's so ridiculous. It's like a little sausage. He doesn't give me like actual words. It's just with him, it's just feelings like hungry, feed, outside, now kind of emotions. Whereas with the German Shepherd, he's very much, I would like you to bring me supper this instant, darling.
Right.
So fancy.
It's so cute. I miss having a pet. I talk to the birds, but I don't have a pet entity anymore. I miss having one.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they're cool. German Shepherds. My family.
How many do you have? One or two?
German Shepherds.
Cologero.
I have. Oh yeah, I only have one.
Yeah.
You have one?
I just have. Well, I have a pug now, but like growing
you have a pug?
Yeah. Awesome. My dad had German Shepherds and my uncles, and like that was always like my family's dog. But I went the pug route. I like pugs, and
pugs are cool.
It's cool. He's a cool little dude.
They're fun dogs.
He's snoring in the background right now. I don't know if you listen closely, you might be able to hear it. Yeah.
Still breathing.
Oh, man.
Hey, Tessa, I wanted to say thank you for your donation the other night. I can't remember which show it was, but thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to say thank you on air, so I wanted to make sure and thank you since you're on here. And Broken Sergeant, if you're out there, appreciate it very much.
He's making weird eye contact with me. Weirdo.
Who, the dog or the Broken Sergeant husband entity?
Broken Sergeant.
Right. So does nobody else want to call in or what? Everybody, I think people just like to listen. They like to see what kind of craziness is going to happen next. But a lot of people are shy.
Like to be all judgy in the comments, but don't want to call in. Mm-hmm. Right? I see you.
Classic.
So anyway, they're posting the links right now to see if anybody wants to call in. I'd like to hear about some more Mandela effects and stuff, and I don't know.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, those are fun. Like I hear about new ones every time we discuss this topic that I've never heard of. So
that zebra one's wild. I would have seen that before. That is crazy.
So do you guys think it's the Large Hadron Collider that's causing these issues?
It's something I've heard. They're definitely messing with something there. They're doing a lot more than just smashing particles. First of all, I mean, I know they've done things through there, but look how much money you spend that much money just to look for the Higgs boson, like, or just a little things here and there. I mean, they still have never even observed an electron.
And they continue to call it the God particle. That's not even what it's called. It's called the GD particle because he couldn't figure it out. It's not like it's actually the God particle that they keep referring to it as.
Because when they first found it, it was all different. It was a different weight than they thought it would be, and then now they found all different kinds. So it's technically not exactly what they thought it would be.
I have to say a personal Mandela effect I had was my astrology chart actually changed in the past 2 years. Like I know what my and I'm old as bananas, but my astrology chart has changed. My rising sign is now switched with my Mercury, and I used to be an Aries rising, and now I'm a Pisces rising, and that is something I would know.
I have
very
never
much
heard
something.
of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There's individual ones. If you're, I don't know if we're going up or floating through this, but it impacted me directly, and I don't trust it. Now I look at my astrology chart, like I don't even know if you're real.
Who are you?
That's not me.
I trusted you, astrology chart.
I've never heard of the astrology chart changing. That's something I've never heard of happening before.
That's pretty wild.
So it looks like we're waiting for Double Key to come in. Double Key's audio might be connected now.
You ever see this?
Hello?
The secret language of birthdays.
Welcome.
Hi.
Heck yes. I love that book.
Am I
Yeah,
on
it's
live?
pretty cool.
Yes, you are. Welcome to the show. You have the stream muted?
I'm very quiet. Yeah, it's on a different phone.
Okay, good.
So yes, it's off. Thank you. I was so wanting to ask you, and I can't remember which show it was after, but since Cologero was doing time travel, I kind of wanted to jump to that. So my first question would be, what's your favorite time travel or ET movie? Anybody?
Time Cop. Oh no, Terminator. I gotta go Terminator for that one.
Demolition Man. Demolition Man.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Terminator too. I haven't seen that many time travel movies, but Terminator, I had that one. My father had it on Laserdisc, and I used to watch it over and over in high school. I was all about the Terminator and Predator. Those were like my two favorite movies, and Aliens too. Yeah, and Aliens
like
too.
A staple of the 80s, 90s. Oh, you know what?
What's your favorite?
I want
Double
to change
Key?
my answer.
Go
Double
ahead.
Key. Have you ever seen Primer?
No. What's
That's
that?
a cool one. It's like it's a kind of an indie movie, but they build a time machine, and it's really interesting the way it goes down.
Cool. The reason why, like it kind of segues it because after one of your shows, it was either Space Force News or Conspiracy Couch or Pink Patriot Hour. People were jumping over to David Wilcock.
Right. That was after
and he had already been going
Patriot
for
Hour.
3 hours, and he was right in the middle of talking about time. And I think I rewound and listened to the whole thing. And the weird thing that tripped me out that I'm not sure I believe in, actually, there was a lot of stuff he was saying I wasn't sure I believed in, including his crying, was that supposedly all space travel is time travel. What do you think about that?
From personal experience, the spaceship that woke me up, it, in my estimation, had to be time traveling because the way that it appeared, it didn't fly up like the ships that Tessa and I experienced at ESETI. It wasn't like that. It literally just appeared in front of my eyes. So in my estimation, you have to go through a portal. But I think if you're traveling through space to some degree, you have to be traveling through time. I don't know. I have a very loose understanding of how this stuff works, and even things like, theoretical stuff like string theory. But I mean, that's what I would think. What would you say, Cologero?
I mean, I guess I could see that on a certain scale. I mean, one thing about the, not believing and stuff, like I agree. I think a lot of this is so theoretical. I think it would be, it'd be weird to blindly believe everything. So I don't blame you for that. And I would say, with the time travel, I guess if it's doing burst, if it's close to the speed of light or faster, I guess technically, right? Because that would be time dilation. Say the faster you travel to the speed of light, the time will slow down for you. And they've kind of proven that with different like atomic clocks. Like some will be they've had on the space station, some on Earth, and where they're traveling technically so fast, it really has. So I guess in a way it could be considered. I don't know. I don't know if I would say 100% though.
Yeah. Shit, it went out of my head, but there was something about like a movie that popped into my head that related to that. But have you guys heard of Tron? Like the guy he's on live now, probably with which I struggled back and
Yes.
forth. Do I listen to Table of Titans or you guys tonight? And when you got onto time travel, I was
Oh,
like,
I didn't
okay,
know
well,
Table of Titans is on at the
I'm
same
with
time
you
of
guys.
us tonight.
Yeah, they're every Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. I
But,
may.
so
Yeah.
if you have low numbers, you could do it.
Right. Your
But,
audio is
but
kind
Sean's
of fading.
my favorite because he does. Oh crap! Sorry.
Yeah.
Is this better? If
Yeah,
I
that's
hold
much
my
better.
thing?
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's I have a kitten and she loves to chew my cords. I highly recommend getting a new pet friend. It's amazing. Even when it can be frustrating, it's usually amazing most of the time.
Worth it.
Yes. But to answer an earlier question, my favorite time travel movie has been Somewhere in Time. It's from 1980 with Christopher Reeves and Jane Seymour. And my favorite E.T. film would be maybe Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Although, oh no, Paul.
Just
Paul
a
is my
second.
favorite because it's
Tessa?
so funny. Sorry.
No,
Yes.
you're okay. Can I go ahead and log you out because we have one more person in the waiting room before we close the show out?
I was about to leave, but I was
Okay.
just waiting for a polite moment.
Yes.
All right, you guys have fun.
Thank you
Bye.
very much for coming
Bye.
on, Tessa. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Can't wait till we
It's
get to do the ESETI thing again.
Oh, next year doing
Right?
it.
Can't wait.
Oh yeah. Oh, saving money now.
All right.
Bye.
Good night, my friend. Thank you for sharing your Mandela effects.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. Let's see. Okay, she's. Sorry, Double Key. Let me just get the other person
No worries.
in the room and
A
go ahead
quick
and continue
note.
your thought, please.
Yeah.
While you do that, I heard Bill Cooper has said that from what he heard when he was in the service, that Close Encounters of the Third Kind and the movie E.T. were both based on real things, loosely,
Yes, I've heard that too.
Wait, which
Yeah.
movie?
And
Close
that's why I
Encounters
love
and what's
movie-
the other one?
and the movie
E.T..
E.T. You said E.T.
They're
was
both
one of the
Spielberg
crash in
films.
Roswell that they found one of them alive, and that's loosely where E.T. comes from.
And have you ever seen Paul? It's the Simon Pegg Nick Frost film. It's a comedy.
Oh no, but they're good. I
Oh,
liked
it's brilliant.
Shaun of the Dead. It was really good.
Oh yes. Well, they wrote Paul, and some other dude directed it, other than Edgar Wright, who they usually work with, and it's hilarious. I highly recommend it. Kristen Wiig's in it. She plays a born again who turns.
She's hilarious.
Brilliant.
I gotta
And
check that
Paul has hilarious references to E.T. in his films.
Awesome.
I like run and see it tonight if you can. It's so good.
What's the name of it?
I'll definitely check that
and
out.
I can shush if you guys want to move.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. So
Okay.
hello, who is our guest with us? This
is
can see it.
Dana.
Hi Dana.
Hey,
Welcome
Alara,
to the
how are
Conspiracy
you?
Couch. I remember you, Dana.
I remember you.
Yes, you were at ESETI too. There's a lot of ESETI folks in the house tonight. How are you?
I'm great.
Awesome.
I'm happy to be on with you guys. This is awesome.
I knew your face the moment you jumped on. I was like, I know her face. And then it hit me. I was like, ESETI. Yeah, it's good to have you here. So,
you guys were talking about a couple Mandela effects.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll tell you a couple that have one that personally happened. I have two sons whose blood types changed, and they told me within 3 months of each other a couple years ago.
And they didn't know independently?
what?
No. So I'm
That's
O
wild.
negative. So that means if I get pregnant, I have to have a ROGAM shot if my baby is a positive blood. So they check the baby's blood at the time of birth, and if the baby is positive, they give you a ROGAM shot. So my first, and well, all of my kids, all four of them have, I was told, O positive blood. My oldest son is like, Mom, I have O negative blood. He went to go give blood and his blood type changed. And then 3 months later, I have in the military. And
You're something's going on with your audio and video, Dana.
I know I
You're
had,
good now.
I have to be trying to call.
Oh, okay.
So Just give me 1 second.
No problem.
That's wild, though. That's like
Right, we got
see,
changing
personal things like that.
changing astrological stuff and changing blood types. Like I'd never even heard of that. That's wild.
What's going on? It's funny. I've always tried to explain them away as something normal, but man, I don't know.
That
Go ahead,
his
Dana.
blood is now A negative.
Wow.
That's a real change.
Yeah, like
How does
huge,
that happen?
Huge change. And then the other thing is, I remember David being David Wilcox, not David Wilcock.
David Wilcox. Oh yeah.
I think it was
No, I have
always
an old book
Wilcock.
by him.
I think it was
wonder-
always I think it was always Wilcock. But I don't know. What do you guys say in the chat? Was it Wilcox or Wilcock? What do you remember? And has anybody else in the chat had a blood type here? Heard of this before, where a blood type actually changes or stuff in someone's astrology chart? Like that's wild. I had never heard of that. That's a whole nother level of Mandela effect right there.
Yeah, I actually went like searching around on the internet because I had never heard of that being possible. And under some Mandela
Can you get closer to your mic, Dana?
Pardon?
We were having trouble hearing you. I just wanted you to get closer to your mic.
Okay, is that better?
Yes, much better. Thank you.
Okay, so I went searching on the internet for Mandela effects on blood types, and under some threads, I found some other people that said that that had happened to them as well. So,
Wow.
but nowhere else, nowhere in scientific literature have I ever seen that blood types change.
Yeah, that's. I'm gonna have to do some digging on that now because that's wild to me.
It's pretty wild to me too. And my
I
sons
have a
both
weird
think
tidbit
that I'm
about
crazy
David
and that
Wilcock.
I was wrong.
What'd you say, Double Key?
I was just reminded that because I live like a block from where the Hollywood pink star signs are, unfortunately. Thankfully, I'm near more nature things as well. But
You live in Hollywood?
I'm also near that tourist trap, and I think there's a pink star that says David Wilcock on it, which kind of trips me out. One of the things that I've had my doubts about is if he and or Carrie Cassidy are controlled opposition, because sometimes I take what they say with a grain of salt. So I don't know. I just find that trippy that it could be a different David Wilcock, not him, but just thought I'd throw that out there.
I think there's a lot of theories on there about him and, maybe changes in his information. There could be a lot of theories and different things to say, but that's kind of a subject I like to stay away from only because I think at the end of the day, David Wilcock, I learned a lot about alternative science from him on Wisdom Teachings.
Yeah.
And regardless whether any of those things you say are true or not, or you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I guess I look at him with a lot of respect because he taught me.
I'm sorry if I didn't sound.
No, I don't. I just mean this is my stance as far as what I'll say about him publicly is that I have a lot of respect for that man, and I always will, because I think the bottom line is he educated a lot of us in all the alternative sciences and got us to look outside of the box. So whether
I agree. Same with Carrie for me.
Right.
Back
And
in
same thing.
2010,
She's
I
brought
think
so many whistleblowers forward that have given us so much good information that at the end of the day, Carrie Cassidy's, personal flaws or David Wilcock's personal flaws are irrelevant to me, because those two people have done more for the Great Awakening in the long term than just about anybody. So that's just my feeling and my stance on that topic. I just thought
that makes a lot of sense, though. That makes a lot of
feel.
sense. Yeah.
So and so we'll just leave it right there.
I think too,
but there's nothing wrong with your opinion and what you're saying and what you're bringing up. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what this show is for, is talking about different ideas and stuff like that. I just tend to want to stay away from going into topics I know what it's like. I'm starting to understand what it's like to be a public figure, and the last thing I ever want to do is put out conspiracy theories about other public figures.
Yeah.
Because
very good point.
You know what I'm saying? But I totally appreciate your opinion.
Like, it's easy for me because I'm a random anonymous person. Yeah.
But that's why I personally
blame it on me.
don't want to touch that topic. No, you're fine. But that's why I personally don't want to touch that topic. You know what I mean? Because I can only imagine what it would be like to be at his level of public scrutiny, and for everybody's wild idea about what could be going on with him, to be having that constant. I get it, and so I just don't want to be a part of the problem. But there's nothing wrong with you sharing your opinion. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
You're behind a screen, and the show is for sharing ideas. So I'm not saying anything about what you're saying in any way. Just the stance I'm going to take about it anytime somebody brings the topic up on the show.
I appreciate you pointing that out, because I was like, I took even Alex Jones with a grain of salt until he bashed Q to smithereens, and then of course he was outed. But yeah, so it's been an interesting journey. Like, I mean, learning so much from him, and Carrie,
like double key,
and then still wondering.
Alex Jones, like when I was still asleep, like honestly, Alex Jones was one of the few people I was like, oh, that I started maybe to wake up and question things as a result of listening to him. So him being Mossad and all this stuff and the things he said about Q, which I'm a big part of that movement. Of course, I'm going to be like, you know, but at the end of the day, like, you know, you whether you realize it or not, you did contribute to waking up a few minds. You know what I mean? Whether that was your plan or not, whether you're controlled opposition or not, it effectively went the other way for some of us, for a minute at least. So he served his role, you know, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for sharing, you know.
Yeah, with Alex, to add to that, it's like, if that was, and I don't know if he was 100% controlled opposition. I hear you. I know I've started to find myself going down and thought like, well, first of all, you don't know. You really don't know. And it's like, if someone people can make mistakes too. That doesn't necessarily mean someone's telling them, you have to say this.
True.
You have to give this false. You know, it's hard to disseminate sometimes through all the crap. But like Alex Jones woke up so many freaking people. And if that was their plan, boy, what a horrible plan.
Right, they failed miserably.
Like how stupid that, you know, that's like where some people, you know, say about Q sometimes, or like, if this was their plan to wake everyone up. I mean, my whole thing with Alex Jones is he would give you little pieces, but then he would rant about it all day. And some of that could have been, you know, he has a long show to fill too. But Q gave everything within a couple months. He like mapped out the whole system. Dude, there's no way they did that on purpose. As like, if they did that on purpose, then they screwed up. That was the stupidest idea on planet Earth.
Back to Q and time travel.
Tessa just said,
I was like having chills when Cologero.
Sorry, I just want to say, drink what Tessa said. Even shills wake people up. Discernment, my friends. She's right. There's a level of truth to that. Go ahead, Double King. Sorry.
Yeah. Just no worries. I got chills when Cologero was going on about that post. And were you thinking what I was thinking, which was, did that post come after the fact? Like, got slipped in there because of time travel? Does that make sense?
We don't know.
That's 100% the point I was trying to make.
It's
like,
possible.
One, I read them all. How did I miss that? Like 100%. How did I not put a time travel is fun in that video?
I would have remembered that too, because that's my thing. I love time travel.
Right. And it's like, someone shows me this, I'm like, from July? What?
Right.
And then I click on the thing and it's got a big where we go, what we go all banner. And I get it. And I know that's not necessarily, you know, everyone used that. I just happened to name my channel that in early 2018. If I thought my channel was going to blow up, I probably wouldn't have named it that, to be honest. That's you know, I feel almost like, who the frig am I to name my channel that? But you know, I didn't think this would ever happen.
You were friggin' so worth it. I love your videos.
Thank you.
You're brilliant. Yeah.
Thank you.
They're so I don't know if I've red pilled anyone, but I certainly try with your videos. They're great montages. Great
I love those comments. We're like, oh, I just showed this to my cousin and woke them up. Like, that makes it all worth it, man. That is the coolest.
It's so beautiful, you guys. It's the Great Awakening, you know, like you think you know something and then you realize you really don't know nothing, and there's so many layers to everything, and it's
Yeah.
like it never ends, the learning process, and that I don't know. It's just I think it's like the coolest thing, you know.
It's so much
Oh
fun.
yeah.
There's so many
I
layers
almost
to
The
the
wonder if it
interesting
was
thing too is
planned.
with the pandemic, like so many more people are waking up.
yeah,
now.
it's
We all
backfiring.
have time
So
for it
many.
They have the
too.
time to do the research.
Absolutely.
Everyone was home with nothing to do. I have so many comments where they're like, dude, you know, I was home from COVID and I started watching your thing and then blah, blah, blah. And like, or I was watching this, and everyone that backfired so hard on them. That was such a terrible idea on their part.
I was watching this Canadian gal, Deception Bites, for quite a while in October, November,
yeah.
December last year. I'm getting really scared about COVID and figuring it was going to hit us eventually. And just watching this look on Trump's face when he was trying to break the news, we have to shut, really scared me, because I thought, oh my God, they have a time travel machine too. And that's why Pelosi was so gleeful. And she knows they have us under a rock with this new pandemic or whatever. And I would so love to be wrong on all of those thoughts, that he was just acting really well.
Well, he has to. I feel like a lot of his regular conferences, he has to talk to the normies. I think we have to remember sometimes that he has a whole voter base that, man, wouldn't even, that still think fluoride is okay in the water because it's good for your teeth. Like, it might be, but it's not good for your stomach. Like, yeah, he has to talk. Like, a lot of times people say, why did he wish Ghislaine well? First of all, here in New York, that's like that's like some gangster stuff. Like, you wish someone well, like
It's like bless your heart. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Oh, bless your heart.
But
Or
even
Godfather
if
3,
he
I
was being
think, wasn't-
serious, you
someone
just got to say the right thing,
Yeah. All right, you guys. So it looks like we're almost running into 2 hours here, and I know it's getting super late on the East Coast. So I
Thank you
want
very much. I'll sign off.
Yeah, well, I want to thank you for coming on, Double Key, and sharing your thoughts. I know it's not easy to do so. It can be a little nerve-wracking if you're not used to it. So, thank you.
Easier behind the screen, but thank you.
You did great. And thank you, Dana,
Thank
for
you.
coming on. I had a great time hanging out with you and getting to know you at ESETI. Are you still doing Fallen Gong or no? Have you done it since then?
I haven't lately. I need to do it several times to get it in my body.
I wish you would call in again sometime in the future and let people know what it is that you do when we have more time, like earlier in the show, because I think what you do is really interesting, and that would be good information for you to share with others. Good night, Double Key.
Sure, I'd love to.
Yeah, that
Thank you.
would be super cool. She does. Well, tell them quickly what you do, and then we'll close, and then maybe we can go into it another time when you come on.
Basically, I'm a healer, but I'm in the psychedelic world, and I do a lot of prep and integration work, and I will be an MDMA therapist for MAPS. So that's pretty exciting.
I'll bet you've had some interesting experiences too. So I'd love for you to share some of that, and sometime it would be cool. So
Awesome. Yeah, I'd love to.
yeah, thank you, Dana, for coming on. And
Thank you.
hopefully we will
Have a
see you
great
again
night.
soon. Yeah, good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Yeah, so this has been fun. I love these call-in shows. They can be very interesting and entertaining. So
Oh, 100%.
I'm
That was
sure-
cool. That was cool
yeah.
too, with everyone giving the different Mandela effects.
yeah, I love that. I love the Mandela effects. I definitely heard about some stuff. I'm gonna have to get into a rabbit hole on the astrology and the blood types changing. I got to see if there's any history of that with any other people. But
That's wild.
so yeah, just to let you guys know, right before I close out the show, Space Force News this Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Tyler Koala will be co-hosting with me because Foil is out of town. Let's see, what else? Pink Patriot Podcast is located on the Kate Awakening channel now, for those of you that used to watch the Pink Patriot Hour. It originally started here, it moved to its own channel, and then it changed to the Pink Patriot Podcast, and Kate and I started doing it on her channel. So anyway, this coming Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, our guest will be Carly Q. So that's going to be a lot of fun because we're all three goofy jokesters. So that's going to be That's going to be a really good time. I'm looking forward to that. For those of you that haven't checked out where we go one, how do I not know how to say that? Where we go when we go all's channel. He has an awesome channel, awesome videos. He's doing great work. He does have a live stream every Friday night. What time is your live stream on Friday nights?
Every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on Craig Mason's channel. It's just literally youtube.com/Craig Mason.
Yeah, so you have a show on somebody else's channel too. You get it. It's when you got different channels, you do different things on it. It gets complicated, but it's always lots of fun, and it's all
I still can't get my subscribers to. They're like, "When's the show?"
Right,
like, dude, you missed it, man. Like, come over there. But little by little, they'll get it.
Yeah, so go and check out Where We Go When We Go All. Like and subscribe. And I want to thank you, Cologero, for filling in for Foil and being such a great co-host with me tonight. Had a wonderful time. Thank you.
And thank you for having me. That was a lot of fun.
And thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you to the moderators. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you had a good time as well. Hopefully I can get that little choppy audio issue figured in time. But in the meantime, hopefully we can catch it quick when it does happen. So anyway, thank you all you conspiracy theorists. It's been wonderful hanging out with you. Have a good night. Sending you love. And we will see you on the next Conspiracy Couch, which will probably be every other Thursday at this time. Though I may change the time. I'm not sure. But I'll definitely make a post about it. Good night, fam.